What's up everyone, Mr. YouTube Gamer. Today we're going to be talking about Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, which at this point is the confirmed name of Call of Duty 2020. Even though we haven't gotten any official word from Activision or Treyarch about the new Call of Duty, we've gotten plenty of leaks over the past couple of months that indicate that Black Ops Cold War is the title of the game. I'm sure you guys saw that Doritos leaked the other day that has a bag of Doritos with the Black Ops Cold War logo on it, so that pretty much confirms, if you didn't think so already, that pretty much confirms that Black Ops Cold War will be the name of the new Call of Duty, because Doritos is planning a double XP event, kind of like what they did with Modern Warfare, where if you have a bag of Doritos, you can find a code inside the bag that gives you double XP in-game. They had that promotion going on for a few months during Modern Warfare, and it seems like they're going to continue that with the next Call of Duty, Black Ops Cold War. Let me know in the comments what you think about that name, if you think Black Ops Cold War is a good name, if you don't. Like, me personally, I don't think it's a great Call of Duty name. Like, I kind of wish they went with something else. Like, even Black Ops 5, in my opinion, would have been a better name. But I think Black Ops Cold War is definitely better than Infinite Warfare. That's probably the worst named game in Call of Duty history. But I'll take Black Ops Cold War because I do want the Black Ops series to go back to the Cold War, because that's how it all got started with Black Ops 1. Even Black Ops 2 kind of continued that, but it was more of a futuristic setting, and Black Ops 3 and Black Ops 4, those games just went in a completely different direction. So if the new Black Ops game is focused around the Cold War, as the title indicates, that means the Black Ops series might be going back to its roots, which is something that I'm really excited about, because Black Ops 1, I've said this in the past in my channel, in my opinion, Black Ops 1 is the greatest Call of Duty game ever made, so if the new Call of Duty game kind of takes some things from Black Ops 1, I think that would be really good. So if I were to create a wish list of all the things I want and don't want from Black Ops Cold War, that would probably be at the top of my list, for the game to feel and play a lot like Black Ops 1. Obviously not identical, because 10 years is a long time. You don't want the game to feel like it's 10 years old, and that was a big problem that Black Ops 4 had. It kind of felt a little bit outdated. So obviously they can update certain gameplay elements, and it's not going to be a Black Ops 1 remaster, obviously. It's going to be its own game. But I would like Cold War to at least capture the essence of the original Black Ops game. And since the Black Ops series is going back to the Cold War, it seems to indicate that that's exactly what Treyarch is trying to do with this game. To try to recapture the magic they had with Black Ops 1 in 2010. It seems like for all intents and purposes, Black Ops Cold War will be a reboot of the Black Ops series, as the leaks that we did get so far seem to indicate that a lot of the features that were introduced in Black Ops 3 and Black Ops 4 will not return in the new Black Ops game, most notably Specialists, and that's a really good thing. That's definitely on the list of things I don't want in the new Call of Duty game. And the gravity spikes, the Reaper, all these different abilities, I feel like that meshed really well with the sci-fi futuristic setting that Black Ops 3 had, but in Black Ops 4, the Specialists were really unbalanced and way out of control. You had the Torque Shield, the Seeker Mine, all this shit that you really couldn't counter that well. So a lot of deaths that you did get in Black Ops 4, they probably weren't even your fault. That's why if I do play Black Ops 4, I try to play bare bones. The gameplay you're seeing right now, I am playing the regular Black Ops 4 with the Specialist, but that's only because bare bones is dead. Nobody plays bare bones. I don't know why. I think Black Ops 4 is so much better without the Specialist, but whatever. I'm pretty sure I saw a few leaks that indicated that Black Ops Cold War will not have any Specialists, which would be a good thing, because that's one of the two things that made Black Ops 4 so frustrating, the other thing being the microtransactions. Black Ops 4 had some of the most unfair microtransactions I've ever seen in a multiplayer game, and while it has gotten better with reserve cases where you actually can have the weapon bribes and you can get the weapons you want, during Black Ops 4's prime, the microtransactions were fucking terrible, because you just had so many weapons that were locked behind supply drops with no realistic way in obtaining them, because for about a year of Black Ops 4's life cycle, it was pretty much locked behind an RNG loot system, so you just had to keep buying supply drops and just hope that you get the weapon that you want. And even though they overhauled and updated it, I think Modern Warfare did it a lot better, where everyone has access to the weapons. Maybe you have to do certain challenges or whatever, but you're not locked behind a paywall in order to access certain content. It's only cosmetic shit, and I think that's great. I think Modern Warfare overall is a really shitty game, but that's one thing they did right, so I'd like to see the same monetization that Modern Warfare had be put into Black Ops Cold War. I think that would be a much better experience than Black Ops 4 was. But that being said, I would still rank Black Ops 4 above Modern Warfare in terms of the multiplayer. So Warzone was great, Ground War was great in Modern Warfare. I'd actually like to see a similar thing with Ground War where you have 64 players. It's kind of like pretty much a Battlefield clone. Like that's how I see Ground War and Modern Warfare. It's pretty much Battlefield, but Why not put that in Black Ops Cold War? I'll have some really big ass maps in the Vietnam jungles or whatever. I think that would be a really cool thing to do. Especially now that the Battlefield series is at its lowest point ever with the release of Battlefield 5. Why not try to take Battlefield fans and bring them into Call of Duty? So I don't mind if they add in Ground War that Modern Warfare had, and I guess integrate Warzone into Black Ops Cold War as the rumors suggest, because I do like Warzone, I do like Ground War, I just hate Modern Warfare 2019's multiplayer. So I just hope that Black Ops Cold War plays absolutely nothing like Modern Warfare 2019, because I hated that experience so much. I hated the doors, I hated the mounting of the weapons, I hated all of that shit, but I also didn't really care for the movement system. It felt a lot like way too tactical and realistic. Like your movement was kind of slowed a little bit. Like you could move fast, I guess, but it just didn't feel right. Like something, am I the only one who thinks like the movement in Modern Warfare 2019 was a little off? Like it worked great in Warzone, it worked great in Ground War, but for 6v6 multiplayer, like the way that the game moved and the way that the game felt, it felt weird. It felt off. And obviously Black Ops Cold War will be running on the same engine as Modern Warfare, but I hope that doesn't mean that it moves the same way as Modern Warfare. I hope the movement system feels a lot more arcadey. You know, maybe not exactly like Black Ops 4 because, you know, the gameplay does kind of feel outdated with Black Ops 4, but I just want it to feel completely different than Modern Warfare because Modern Warfare just felt off for me. Like, I know it kind of sounds like I'm just complaining about Modern Warfare and I'm like, oh, Modern Warfare is terrible. Like, I find anything I can to hate on that game. But this is also the same channel that likes Call of Duty Ghosts and Infinite Warfare, so I'm not the type of person that just follows trends and hates something just because everyone else does. But as hard as I tried, I could not get myself to enjoy Modern Warfare's multiplayer. It's awful. So I hope Black Ops Cold War doesn't have doors, doesn't have weapon mounting, because those things are just really obnoxious. They don't really serve any real purpose. It just encourages camping a lot, and the other thing that encourages camping, of course, is the terrible maps. Piccadilly, Euphrates Bridge. If you try to move in those maps, you will get shot instantly. Like, you have no chance. Like, if you want to run and gun in half of these maps in Modern Warfare, good luck. They're made for campers. So I think that Treyarch can change things up when it comes to multiplayer map design. Maybe not have every map be a 3-lane map because that kind of gets repetitive. But at the same time, there's no need to have these weird-ass maps that have no flow to them and they don't really serve any purpose. They're just really bad. Like Piccadilly, Azure Cave. I hope they don't design any maps like that. Because a multiplayer game, really, it's only as good as the maps that you can play on them. And if the maps are terrible, then the game itself is not worth playing. And I also don't want them to have too many remakes of old maps from older Call of Duties because that also gets repetitive. If the leaks are true, we're set to have 8 original multiplayer maps and 4 remakes. I think having a third of the maps being remakes of old games, like maps that we've played before, I think that's going to get really repetitive, and I really don't want to see that, especially since they're supposed to be the same 4 maps that have been remastered into every other Black Ops game: Jungle, Firing Range, Summit, and of course Nuketown. Apparently those 4 maps are going to come back. And the thing is, I'm just sick of playing on them. Okay, Nuketown is like a given. When you're talking about a Black Ops game, of course Nuketown's going to be in it. I'm not so upset about Nuketown being put in, but all these other maps, like, I've played them so many different times that if you are going to have a third of the multiplayer maps be remasters, at least do different remasters. How about maps like Grid? That was an awesome map. Grid from Black Ops 1. Or how about Rush from Black Ops 2? That was the DLC paintball map from Black Ops 2. I know that a lot of people don't even remember it, but that was a really good one also. Just like do different remasters. If you're gonna do remasters, do maps that you haven't remastered before. Especially DLC maps, because most people haven't even played them because most people don't buy the DLC in Call of Duty games. And I'm sure that now we kind of moved on from DLC. You won't have a Black Ops Pass in Cold War. All the maps will be part of free updates, but if you are going to go with the remaster, how about you remake maps from DLC packs in previous Call of Duty games that most people didn't get the chance to play? That would at least freshen things up a little bit, and it would also be cost effective for Treyarch because they don't have to redesign new maps from scratch. That being said, I do want most of the multiplayer maps to be fresh, new maps that we haven't played before. I want them to be new maps. I don't want half the maps being remasters because that would just be really lazy. As far as weapons and all that stuff, I'm not sure exactly how that's going to work because Black Ops 1, it was set during the Cold War, but it was mostly within the 1960s, but if it's just going to be called Black Ops Cold War, I mean, the Cold War lasted over 50 years. So that's a lot of history that you have to go through, and I'm not sure exactly how they're going to do it. Are they going to be like Black Ops 1 and focus on the 60s, you know, focus on Vietnam? Or will it also include the Korean War in the early 50s, the Afghanistan War in the 80s? I mean, there's so much they can do, but I'm not sure if they're going to try to focus on one specific war conflict within the Cold War, because that's the thing, the Cold War wasn't an actual war, it it was a collection of different proxy wars throughout the world. So for a single player campaign, I guess it would be easier for the campaign to take place across multiple decades, but for the multiplayer, I'm not sure exactly how that's going to work. Like, if you have a map that takes place in Korea, you can run around with an M16 or a FAMAS, like, that kind of wouldn't be historically authentic. Not saying that most Call of Duty players even care about historical accuracy, but that would definitely be a really interesting artistic choice to kind of have a game that takes place throughout the entire Cold War and have all these different weapons from all those different time periods, because the Cold War lasted from the late 40s until the early 90s. So you would have a lot of weapon variety. Obviously, I want to see the OG weapons like the FAMAS, the Galil, AK-47, M16. I mean, those have to be in Black Ops Cold War. I also hope they bring back the OG kill streaks or score streaks, whatever the fuck you want to call them. Chopper Gunner, they have to have the Chopper Gunner. I mean, I don't know how they can have a Black Ops reboot without the Chopper Gunner, because that's the most iconic kill streak, not only in Black Ops 1, but in the entire Call of Duty series. The Chopper Gunner, I love that kill streak. I also want to see the attack dogs come back. And also, please, if you're gonna have Dead Silence, have it as a perk. As far as manual healing and 150 health, I'm kind of indifferent towards it. Like, it really wasn't a big deal for me in Black Ops 4. Like, it really didn't piss me off that much. But I do think I would much rather see it just go back to the way it was, have regular health, no manual healing, regenerate, all that shit. I think that manual healing and 150 health is just kind of unnecessary. But I also wouldn't throw a shit fit if they decided to bring back 150 health or manual healing or both. But Treyarch, if you do bring back 150 health, at least give us more ammo in our guns, because I had so many times in Black Ops 4, because all your enemies, I mean, it's so hard to kill them because the time to kill is so goddamn slow that you just keep spraying bullets into them. I remember that was the biggest thing that frustrated me, is that I kept running out of ammo because it takes so many bullets to kill one enemy. So if you do bring back 150 health, at least balance it out by giving us more ammo in our cartridges, or just giving us more ammo in general. I think that would make for a much better experience than Black Ops 4. And also, to address the whole debate within the COD community between kill streaks versus score streaks, have kill streaks be the default thing in Team Deathmatch, and in objective modes, have score streaks. And I feel like the Call of Duty experience would just be so much better if that became the standard in every Call of Duty game going forward. Because in Team Deathmatch, score streaks are pretty useless, and in objective modes, kill streaks kind of discourage people from playing the objective, because you don't get rewarded from capturing or defending the objective in domination. You only get rewarded by how many kills you get. And that means people camp and don't play the objective. So there's a simple solution. Team Deathmatch, you only have kill streaks. Objective modes, you only have score streaks. And also, if you're going to bring back theater mode, please fix it, because in Black Ops 4 it's awful. I had to mute the gameplay audio because it's just so bad on theater mode. Playing games back in Black Ops 4 theater mode is awful, so I hope they fix that in Black Ops Cold War. But other than that, that's pretty much it. I just want a game that's fun, that has good maps, has a good flow. It doesn't really have to be that complicated. But that's it for today's video. Be sure to drop a comment down below about what you want to see in the next Call of Duty game, and if you agree or disagree with what I said in this video. Thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you all later. Peace.